Bringing ourselves to our breath. Today's practice will be focusing on abundance. More than enough. So much more than enough. To think of ourselves and this aspect of the infinity of our universe, that no matter how much wealth we accumulate as a personality, as a person, it will still be only fractions of the infinity, of the abundance available to us. Becoming identified with that part of ourselves, we'll begin to squeeze the air out, connecting hands below. We'll begin our practice with a big inhale, reaching both palms up high, connect above, gaze upwards, release, dropping the hands down low, connect below, squeeze the air out. Setting up for 3 more cycles. Let yourself flow and receive this abundance. That you have an abundance of time to be taking this moment. You have an abundance of air to breathe. You have an abundance of range of motion, at least within your body. Whatever abundance is to you, embrace it in this moment. Connecting above again one last time for this 4th cycle. We'll drop our hands, squeeze everything out. Inhale, send them back up. This time, as we connect above, we'll bend our knees, tilt our hips, floating our hands down, squeeze the air out. Inhale, sending the palms back up. We'll do 3 more. Surrendering to abundance. Specifically in this way where we don't take any of our actions too seriously. Surely we're practicing some yoga, moving our bodies, and this is good. But we're not in this very moment asking to see the results. And we realize that abundance is something that flows with us and through us. Completing our 4 cycles, we'll connect both hands to the ground. Staying in this forward fold, we'll let abundance flow differently again. This time, imagine abundant energy pushing up through the feet, the calves, the thighs, and as soon as it reaches the hips, imagine it start to flow over like a river, down the spine, through the arms, through the hands, giving all of this abundance back to the world. That this is the way we should be perceiving abundance, as a conduit, as something that allows it to flow in the same way as our breath. A release. Squeeze out this 4th and final exhale. Inhale, sending the palms up high. Connect above, bring energy down and into the heart. Holding this moment. Again, abundance. That we have an abundance of stability, feeling the earth underneath our feet. We have been stable in our heartbeat. We have more than enough to breathe. That not for a second have we held on to our breath, scared to let go because we were worried there wasn't going to be enough when we tried to breathe again. See everything from this perspective. Abundant and taken care of. Release. Stepping to the front of the mat, arms to the sides, squeeze the air out. Inhale, send them back up high. Connect above, bend the knees, tilt the hips, connecting both hands to the ground. We'll step one of our feet back, nice and straight, stacking the front knee over the front ankle. We'll inhale up into a warrior 1, lengthening, send the palms far up high. Release, tilting at the hips, melt over the front knee, connect to the ground. Completing a full cycle. We'll do 3 more. Allow the abundance that between the warrior and the surrenderer, everything, between the 1 and the 0, between light and dark, there is you practicing in this moment, aware of it all. Completing our 4 cycles, we'll connect both hands to the ground, stepping the back foot to meet the front. Step the other foot back straight. Stack the front knee over the front ankle again. Doing 4 on this side. Completing 4 full cycles. Connect both hands to the earth. Step the back foot to meet the front. In this forward fold we'll stay. We'll inhale once, lengthen. Exhale, fold deeper still. Inhale, sending palms up high, connect them above. Bring them down and into the heart. Taking a moment to notice how much you have. The feelings you have in this moment. The air you get to breathe. All of the moments past and all of the moments in your future coming. Release. Stepping ourselves wide. Arms out to the sides into a T. Expand. And then release. Tilt and twist. Opposing hand to opposing foot. Other hand up to the sky. Inhale. Out of the twist. Exhale. Twisting to the other side. We'll do 3 more cycles. Holding in our mind abundance, fullness, completion, security, safety. Completing our 4 cycles, we'll reach both arms up high. Beginning to exhale, we'll tilt at the hips, floating the palms down to the earth. Connecting to the ground, point the toes closer towards the hands. Trying to sink the head as low as we can go. If possible, dropping the head below the heart. Reversing the order we always hold on to. So convinced that everything happens from the head down. Taking a moment to believe that there is infinite consciousness, always oscillating, beating like our heart, supporting this moment. Release and thank Mama Gaia deeply. Beginning to inhale, we'll send both palms up high, connect above, step the feet underneath the hips as you bring the hands to the heart. How much do we have to be grateful for? How abundant are we already? Holding on to this moment of gratitude to have this moment right now. Releasing it. We'll step to the front of the mat. Arms to the sides as we squeeze the air out. Inhale, sending them back up high. Connect above, bend the knees, tilt the hips. Connecting to the ground. This time, we'll step both feet back. Sending the hips up high, squeeze the air out. You push yourself into a downward facing dog. Inhale, slowly and with control. Drop the knees to the floor, drop the belly low. As you gaze up to the sky, release that cow. Pushing yourself back into that downward facing dog. Setting up to do 3 more. Slow and steady. Pairing the abundance of breath with the limitation of these movements. Completing our 4 full cycles. We'll bring ourselves back on our mats, setting the knees nice and wide, sitting back on the feet, having the big toes connected behind. We'll send both palms far out in front of us, bringing the forehead to the ground. A child's pose. To remember what it's like to be a child, free, unencumbered, truly abundant. Sure, as we were exposed to advertising and comparison to others, we started wanting more things. But ultimately, we were completely secure, fulfilled, happy just to be. Really embracing that moment of ourselves. Still here, still now. Melting away all the layers that we've attached to that. Sinking deeper still, squeezing out the air. Beginning to imagine the moon dangling above our heads with a big inhale. We'll reach both palms up high. Connect above around that moon energy. Bring it down into the earth. Touching that child's pose for a moment before we inhale into a plank to the front of the mat. Release the weight as you release the air. Inhale, arching the back up into a mini cobra. Release, pushing yourself up and back into this downward facing dog. Completing our first cycle, we'll do 3 more. Completing our 4 full cycles. We'll find ourselves in this child's pose once again. Maybe bringing the arms closer to the head. Connect to this moment. Having looked at the abundant inner child, we'll see the other side of it. the abundance of our earth, the fullness of her, the oceans, the mountains, the bees and the birds, our sun, the planets we share it with, the universe, all connecting back here to you in this moment. Feel yourself as this abundance beginning to release, bringing ourselves to our backs, arms to our sides, squeeze the air out as you lay down. Feeling the support of the earth, we'll begin to stack our knees above our hips, fingertips lightly on the knees, sending both arms, both legs up to the sky as we breathe, taking a full inhale, point the toes to the face, drive the hips down to the ground, release back to that neutral position. We'll inhale again, arms above the head, feet close to the hips, sending the hips up high this time. Squeeze the air out as you bring your hips down, completing our first cycle. We'll do 3 more. Completing our 4 full cycles of a big inhale. We'll send both arms, both legs up to the sky. See them in your field of vision, and then slowly release them to gravity, sinking down into the ground. Melt into this moment. I'll bring us out. Having accepted this abundance of calm energy, we'll release this too, bringing ourselves back to action, but still letting go of the attachment. We'll wiggle our fingers and our toes, and rotate our wrists and our ankles, stacking the feet nice and close to the hips, arms out to the sides into a T. Drop the knees to one side and then to the other. Twisting the spine. Release any tension, any resistance you might still have to your abundance. Release. Beginning to bring the knees close to the chest. Squeeze the air out. Squeeze out any lack. Feeling this void, this closed offness. Expand. Let yourself receive everything. Having taken everything, we can give it back. Release. Beginning to rub our hands together. We'll create some heat, some warmth. Placing our hands on any body part that needs some healing, that needs some attention, that needs some of that abundance that you've been cultivating. Knowing we have this ability to heal ourselves, that we can do it over and over again, we'll believe that this will be no exception. Release. Beginning to bring ourselves into a fetal position. Seated is also okay if that serves you. Just take this moment to feel, to breathe, to notice your life, and to see it as abundant, to see yourself, knowing that when we show up like this for ourselves, it becomes so much easier to show up for everything else. Thank you, dear friends, for showing up with me. It's always such a dear pleasure to have you here.